So Harvard does a study, the Harvard study on meditation and the brain. It was entitled Mindfulness Practice Leads to Increases in Regional Brain Gray Matter Density. This was done in 2011. Yale University, 2012. They did a study entitled Meditation Experiences is Associated with Differences in Default Mode Network Activity and Connectivity. The Default Mode DMN study, Meditation in the Self. And then lastly, from the University of Wisconsin, 2013, Meditation, Stress Reduction, and Genetic Changes. The study was entitled Rapid Changes in Deactive and Inflammatory Gene Expression After Mindfulness Meditation. So what we're talking about today is the power of meditation. It's entitled Why Meditation, but really the power of meditation and what meditation can do for us if we are consistent and if we do it over a period of time. And in this case, I'm using meditation and mindfulness sort of simultaneously, and it is the practice, and although I'm using that word more as an adjective and not as a verb, it is the practice of being still and of being silent, not of quieting your mind. Let's not be confused about that, because there's really no work to do, because you can be meditative in driving your car. You can be meditative in actually cooking your meal. It is the ability for you to see your life circumstances from a greater awareness standpoint. And so I'm going to leave a few links in the show notes today for you, because it's important that you know these are actual facts. These are actual studies. These are actual studies. It's not my opinion. This is not a book some, a professor, philosopher, guru wrote that I read and that I'm regurgitating to you. These are studies, and I'm really big on studies because of what they are. These are scientific facts. And the reason I'm bringing it to you in this fashion is because sometimes some of us need to know that this stuff actually has been studied. People have looked at it, people have practiced, and people have been successful, and it actually has made some changes. And then ultimately, the reason for bringing it to you in this fashion is to encourage you to continue on this path. If you've not meditated before, it's to encourage you to become a meditator. If you're meditating and sometimes you find it difficult and sometimes you get off the path, it is to assist you in getting back on the path, okay? One of the websites here is discussing specifically the Harvard study. This is the National Library of Medicine. Okay, I'm going to put this in the show notes, but I just want to read to you one paragraph of what they said about this study. So it says, mindfulness meditation has reported to produce positive effects on psychological well-being that extend beyond the time the individual is formally meditating. Over the last 3 decades, mindfulness meditation practices have been increasingly incorporated into psychotherapeutic programs to take advantage of these benefits. A large body of research has established the efficacy of these mindfulness-based interventions in reducing symptoms of a number of disorders, including anxiety, depression, substance abuse, eating disorders, and even chronic pain, as well as improving well-being and quality of life. Isn't that what we're just listening to this podcast for? We want to improve our quality of life. Mindfulness meditation involves the development of awareness of present moment experiences with a compassionate yet non-judgmental stance. It has been suggested that this process is associated with a perceptual shift in which one's thoughts and feelings are recognized as events occurring in the broader field of awareness. I'm going to put this link in. There's a lot of charts, a lot of data here for you to go through and just kind of appease yourself and satisfy yourself that this is an actual study so that you know I'm telling you the truth. And it's important for you to do that. Don't just take me or anyone else at my word just because someone said it. Go look it up. Go study. Make sure this information is correct. So today, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, To Rethink, thank you guys so much for joining me. This one's going to be a little bit more scientific, but it's going to be very impactful. And I think if you are a meditator, you're interested in meditating, you want to validate some of what you're doing. Maybe you've been meditating, you're not really seeing the results. Maybe you're trying to meditate, and then this is information going to help you understand the practice itself. It's just important because I'm going to list some practices for us. It's just important for us, in my opinion, to take in consideration this particular practice because it can help us. I believe meditation is the number one tool if you're interested in increasing your spiritual veracity. If you're interested in knowing more about who you are and your reason for being here, if you're interested in understanding higher levels of consciousness and spirituality, I think meditation is the one tool. Meditation and mindfulness is the one tool, the one lens that we need to be looking through and the tool that we need to be using. So let's talk about these studies. Let's start off with the Harvard study that was done in 2011. What were some of the findings? Researchers from Harvard found that practicing meditation for 8 weeks led to significant changes in brain structure. The study focused on participants who engaged in mindfulness-based stress reduction. The acronym is MBSR, for approximately 27 minutes per day. Because we always talk about here, let's try and do at least 30 minutes a day. The study focused on participants who engaged in this MSBR for about 27 minutes a day, and they did MRI scans before and after the program, and they showed that meditation increased gray matter. This, of course, is your brain, gray matter density in the hippocampus, which is crucial for memory and learning, and it reduced gray matter in the I think this is amygdala, AMYGDALA. This is the reason associated with fear and stress. So just like I read to you before, this study was found to show the increase in the gray matter, i.e. your brain or your mind in action. Your mind is your brain in action, rather. Let me say that again. Mind is your brain in action. So this increased gray matter, which is your brain, but it decreased the region associated with fear and stress. Why is that important? Because the study showed that it reduced disorders such as anxiety, such as depression, such as substance abuse, eating disorders. So meditation in and of itself can help you to reduce some of these psychosomatic traumas that we're dealing with within our minds. So restructuring the brain for positive reality. Restructuring the brain for positive reality. The hippocampus, which is the part that increased, is involved in emotional regulation and memory formation, both of which play essential roles. They play essential roles in how we perceive and create our reality. Now, we always talk about here that you are that creates your reality. Whether you want to call it universe, source, God, whatever, the higher part of you, your higher self, through your subconscious mind, you are creating these experiences that you're sensing with your 5 senses. You're actually doing that. And we're talking now scientifically how it's being done. So again, the hippocampus is involved in emotional regulation and memory formation, both of which play essential roles in how we perceive and create our reality. By increasing gray matter in this area, meditation strengthens our ability to focus on desired outcomes and emotional stability. By increasing gray matter in this area, meditation strengthens our ability to focus on desired outcomes and emotional stability. Desired outcomes, we all want, yes. Emotional stability, we all want, yes. So why are we not all meditating? How about lowering fears and anxieties? Reducing the size of the amygdala, which is that AMYGDALA. I know I'm grossly mispronouncing that word, so I apologize. It shows that meditation decreases fear-based thinking. Meditation decreases fear-based thinking. It allows individuals to focus on positive outcomes rather than letting anxiety dictate their actions and thoughts. So here's an example for that. A person struggling with stress might meditate daily to shrink that part of their brain, reducing fear and allowing them to focus on their goals and manifestations rather than any roadblocks. Let's jump on to the second study, which was done by Yale University School of Medicine. The Default Mode Network, which is acronym by DMN study, Meditation and the Self. This was done in 2012. The study explored how meditation affects the default mode network, which is the brain network responsible for mind wandering and self-referential thoughts, often the source of negative, repetitive thinking. Additionally, connections between the posterior cortex and the brain regions responsible for self-monitoring were strengthened. What is the relevance to reality creation, though? Number one, less negative thinking, more positive creation. I'll say again, less negative thinking, more positive creation. By reducing activity in the DMN, meditation minimizes unproductive mind wandering and overthinking. This reduction in self-referential thoughts allows individuals to be more present, to be more focused, and to be intentional about shaping their own reality. The second thing is fostering self-awareness. These are all benefits of meditation now. Strengthening the connections between the connections related to self-monitoring through meditation helps individuals become more aware of their thoughts, enabling them to identify and replace limiting beliefs with positive ones, designed and aligned with their desired outcomes. That is very powerful. So a practical example could be someone who tends to dwell on past failures, as a lot of us do. We can use meditation to quiet that part of our brain activity, leading to clearer, more positive focus on future opportunities and desired life paths. Again, that was the DMN, the meditation experience associated with DMN, which was done by Yale University School of Medicine. And then lastly, we have a study that was done at the University, of Wisconsin-Madison. Is meditation, stress reduction, and genetic changes. This was done in 2013. So consecutive years here. The title of the study, in case you want to look it up, and I hope you do, it is Rapid Changes in, again, these are very technical terms, histone deactylase and inflammatory gene expression after mindfulness meditation. Let me spell the word for it that I'm mispronouncing. It is DEACETYLASES. Again, this is done by the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Here are some key findings. The groundbreaking study showed that meditation can lead to genetic level changes that promote mental and physical well-being. With meditation practice, participants showed reduced activity in genes related to inflammation, specifically those associated with stress responses. This suggests that mindfulness meditation has a direct influence on epigenetics. This is the study of how behaviors and environment affect our gene expression. What's the relevance for reality creation? Well, number one is mind over matter. You've heard that term. Now you know scientifically where it comes from. By reducing stress-related genetic expression, meditation demonstrates how the mind can influence the body on a cellular level. And that's very important for us to know because we're always wondering, am I having any effect? I don't feel anything. Meditating, I don't feel like I'm accomplishing anything. Am I having an effect? This study shows that you have an effect all the way down to the molecular level. And of course, your cells are what make you up. This indicates that meditation doesn't just affect mental perception, but also the body's physical state, potentially aligning with both the reality we want to create. And then secondly, aligning mental and physical states for manifestation. This is the second benefit, aligning mental and physical states for manifestation. Reduce inflammation and stress responses through meditation create an optimal internal environmental for manifesting positive changes. It creates the optimal internal environment for manifesting positive changes. If the body and mind are relaxed and aligned, individuals are more likely to act confidently toward their goals. If the body and the mind are relaxed and aligned, you're on the right frequency. Individuals are more likely to act confidently toward their goals, which gives you, of course, higher chances of manifestations and achievement. Here's a practical example. Individuals waiting to create a healthier life or career might just use meditation to calm their mind and influence their body at a genetic level, allowing them to be more resilient, more energetic. So here's the deal. These studies highlight how meditation goes beyond stress relief, because a lot of times we think meditation is just about relaxing and taking our blood pressure down and our heart rates down. That's part of it, but there's a lot more to it. Meditation rewires our brain. It reduces negative thinking, and it even affects the body at a genetic level. And it's important for you to understand that. And it's very important for me that you understand that this has been studied, and this is not my opinion. This is not subjective. It is very objective. In the context of reality creation, because we're talking about, creating the reality that we want, living the lives that we want, improving our qualities of life. This is very important because, again, I want to communicate to you how important it is, the tool meditation, how important that is. We always talk about it in our podcast as it relates to some level of solution. Each time we bring up solutions, usually mindfulness and meditation are involved. And maybe you're wondering, why are we always mentioning this? Is there anything else we can do? The reason we're mentioning it all the time is because it's one of the main things you can do that can shift your reality. It can literally change who you are at the physical level. So in the context of reality creation, meditation helps you to align your mind, align your emotions, and it's through reducing fear, stress, anxiety, depression, improving emotional regulation, or influencing your genetic expression. The science behind meditation reinforces its powerful role in shaping our personal realities. Here's what I'll challenge you to do. Number one, I'll challenge you to listen to the podcast again. Number two, I'll challenge you to write down the names of the studies and to go and to pull up some information on it yourself. Now, I told you I was reading from two different sources. The source, if you want to go and validate, the National Library of Medicine is a government site. It is a government site. Now, that doesn't mean that it's well kept, but it's a government site. The information there can be validated. What we're talking about here, these studies actually took place. And I want you to really rededicate if you've been a meditator, you kind of slacked off, because listen, none of us are perfect. I've been meditating for a number of years, and I know that sometimes I do ebbs and flows. Sometimes, I start my day and I end my day with meditation. And then some days, if I get off track, if I'm traveling, if something is going on, if I'm not feeling good, I tend to go to bed without meditating. I tend to wake up in the morning, give myself a little bit more sleep, etc. I get it because I've done that. But I always say, I need to get back into my routine of meditating, of exercising, doing my yoga, which is a meditative practice that all flows together. And I can really tell a difference when I'm not on my game in terms of meditation. If you're new to meditating, hopefully something like this particular video or podcast can help you to quantify why meditation is something that you want to do, why and what it can do for you physically and, of course, mentally and spiritually. So why don't you listen to the podcast again, go and do some research on your own, just validate some of the stuff that I've said. And we're going to dig deeper into meditation as we get into more podcasts on the channel. Matter of fact, we're going to have some guided meditation for you as well, because I believe that strongly that meditation can really transform the quality of your life. And it can really help you to achieve the goals that you're setting out for. So listen to the podcast again. Come back, check us out on tomorrow. We'll have another great podcast for you. If you've not done so, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. Please make sure you are supporting the podcast. Thank you.